Some of us are dealing with a visibility wound that is so deep, that is so corrosive, that it makes us stop. It puts us into functional freeze to the point where you have a message that you are designed to give to the world, an assignment that is on your heart, a calling that won't stop blowing up your phone, but you can't find the words to say. I have been existing in that space for the past, I would say, 2 months since the last time I posted a YouTube video. And I've been doing a lot of thinking. It's been a lot of healthy practices that I have incorporated into my life. And there's been a lot of escapism that I have faced due to the fact that I get depressed when I cannot express myself. At first, I thought it was a sacral situation. I started getting gut issues. And if you know anything about human design, your sacral chakra is the motor that's connected to your gut. So when you have to make a decision as a generator, a manifesting generator, it is best for you to make that decision from your gut. And the answer is simply going to be uh-huh or uh-uh. It's a hell yes or a no. And the deeper you get on your spiritual journey, you need to start honoring that because that motor is your truth. When we decided to come down here from the spiritual realm, because as you know, we exist in three planes of reality at all times. We exist in the physical realm, which is the 3D. We exist in the 4D, which is the mental realm. And we exist in the spiritual realm, which is the 5D. And so you're existing in three different realms at the same time. And what's happening is when you have this visibility wound, because we're going to shift that paradigm in a minute, but when you're having this visibility wound, you are channeling and downloading these 5D ideas and concepts in your head. It's if people could look inside your head, they would think you're a genius because you have all these concepts, all these realizations in your brain. But when it's time to trickle down to that throat chakra, it is block party. It is not a word can come out. You get writer's block, you get speaker's block, you get every block that pops up. So these ideas, these thoughts in your head, they get lost, they disappear, and you face all this resistance. And that resistance stops you from speaking. And that speaking starts to affect your gut because as a generator, manifesting generator, we are designed to do our sacral work. Like your sacral chakra is the life force. And at all times, your sacral chakra is operating like a magnet. It's drawing in all of these different opportunities, relationships, money, people. Everything's being drawn to you. And the way that you strengthen that magnet is by doing your sacral work. So let's say your sacral work is to create, which most of us are here to do. And when you can't create, that's when you create the rift between your higher self in that 4D and 5D and your lower self. Now, on the one hand, as a generator and a manifesting generator, you are designed to wait. We respond to life because, again, life is bringing us all these different opportunities, and we're meant to respond through that sacral motor that says, go this way, or not at all, mm-mm. And so I started doing a lot of work on the sacral motor, but what I realized is that this visibility wound may actually be a result of the throat chakra. So in the throat chakra, we have different gates. We got gate 62, which is all about details. We have gate 23, which is all about these kind of crazy thoughts. We have gate 56, which is the storyteller. We got gate 45, which is the king. And all of these gates have a different mechanism of operation. And to speak and to use your voice, you tap into the mechanism of that gate. What I have been doing is I have been ignoring, I've been out of alignment with the energies of these gates. And then I looked even deeper, and a lot of these gates are unconscious energy. So unconsciously, I don't even know that I am supposed to speak or use this part of my voice to activate my fractal. Your throat chakra is how you manifest. Your voice is the fractal signal that you broadcast as far as you can. And that broadcast brings the people that are in your soul tribe, that are in your fractal, to you. So when you silence yourself and when you believe this illusion of a visibility wound, then you just continue to get out of alignment, out of alignment, out of alignment. So how do we get back into alignment, and how do we recognize which of these throat chakra gates we need to tap into? Well, the secret is through surrender. That's kind of like the answer for everything, because we're designed to be in a constant state of flow. If you look on your chart in human design, or even if you just understand the way that we're designed, you have unconscious energy. And this unconscious energy has been printed on to your person. It's printed onto your genetic coding in your DNA 88 days before you're born. So when you're in the womb, your little fetus chilling, what happens is this data, which follows on the trails of the neutrino stream, this data is imprinted onto you as a fetus. Essentially, they like to call it the soul's birthday. And this is the information. These are essentially your Akashic records. This is who you came here to be. Now, when you're actually born, you're given another set of data. That's the astrology data. That's the personality side. So that's everything you know about astrology. This information is who you think you are. All of these are nothing more than coding. And this coding, once figured out, you can actually understand what you came here to do, who you came here to be. And it's rarely what you think it is. So this is where the visibility wound comes from. It comes from that gap. And so the wider the gap, the deeper the wound. And the point of being here on this earth is to shrink that gap. We call it authenticity. I love to call it aura. But this shrinking of the gap is the only thing you need to worry about during this downtime. If you're not creating, if you are afraid to post, if you need understanding of what you're supposed to do, focus on closing that gap. This is the time where you really need to learn how to channel. And channeling is a skill that I truly believe is going to be the ultimate skill of this new timeline that we're stepping into. We're breaking into a new economy. We're breaking into, as we watch the old one crumble. And we are being called to create our own systems. When I say our own systems, I mean sovereign systems. You need to build a system around yourself where you can get paid to exist, because that's very key. And the way you have to get paid to exist is you have to increase your value. If your value to the world is pennies, if the energy that you give to the world has no value, then you'll get exactly what you give out. But the worst position to be in is knowing that you have so much to give, knowing that you have a voice, knowing that you have a gift, and still not being able to put it out because your body is in freeze, in functional freeze. And that functional freeze is it's time to defrost. So when I talk about the idea of channeling, this is nothing more than clearing out this connection, this bridge from your 3D self to your higher self. Your higher self is playing you like a video game. Think about it like Mario Brothers. When you play Mario Brothers, you have Mario in the game. You're controlling him. He's jumping, he's moving around, he's going down pipes. In your brain and in the game, you are like, I have to get to the end. I have to save the princess, and then I'll win the game. That's not the game. The game, just like the game of life, is an inner game. And the best example I can give of how you actually win is not saving the princess. She can low key save herself. The way you actually win is you have to beat King Koopa. You have to beat Bowser. I know that Mario Galaxy movie just came out and I didn't see it, but you have to beat your inner demon. You have to beat your inner bad guy. You have to beat the big bad. Some people call it David versus Goliath, the Batman versus Joker, but you have to beat the Bowser that is stopping you from moving forward in this game. That is your mission here. And a lot of times we can't see Bowser. We don't want to see our Bowser. We don't want to see the bad guy because we're too worried about saving the princess. Saving the princess is for the whole world to see. But beating your inner enemy is for you to do. For us, it looks like a critic. There's this inner critic that has been conditioned by everything that's going on in the world. I face my inner critic at all times. My inner critic is telling me day after day, Elton, why do you want to get online and talk about this spiritual woo woo topics? I feel so weird. I feel so not like myself because this is the idea that I have of Elton. But all that's happening is I am in surrender and I'm allowing this inner self to speak. People want to hear the truth. People don't want to hear curated messages and trying to sell you something. I'm just trying not to have my stomach in knots because I'm not expressing myself. So when I say learn how to channel, channeling is best done when you're in full surrender mode, when you allow the downloads that are always coming to you, you allow them to come through you organically. You don't block the messages that are coming through. They are coming to you. Every channel needs a container. Every channel needs a vessel. And if you're putting up all these blocks because of fear, because you want to go against your own natural alignment, then you'll keep yourself in this loop of functional freeze. And that loop of functional freeze is what leads you to frustration, bitterness, anxiety, depression, and blah, 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 blah. I won't go down all the list of the many different negative energies we feel. But I want to make sure that for my channel, I'm creating a safe space for these conversations. I'm at the very beginning of a long journey, a lifetime journey of returning to self. That's why I study human design. That's why I study astrology, because I know the answers are there, but there is in here. And if you're watching this, I know you are waking up. Sometimes at 3 a.m., you're waking up to who you came here to be. And you have to remove the resistance. You have to remove the blocks because the blocks are blocking your sacral energy, they're blocking your throat chakra, and they're blocking any chance for these opportunities, relationships, and money to find you. They need to hear and see your signal. You need to start doing more of the inner work to uncover and unlock the gift that is you. Your life depends on it, but the lives of the people you are meant to serve depend on it even more. You aren't meant to stop. You aren't meant to be in freeze mode. You're meant to wait for the action to drop into your system. You feel it and you move. Don't ever try to force anything. Don't ever leak your energy by trying to copy somebody else's journey that they're on. If you see a path that is easy, that means somebody has already went down it. Your path isn't going to be easy. It's not meant to be. That's not the game you chose to play. You wanted to make this life interesting. So you said, what is the one thing I can give myself that's going to make me into the person that I'm really supposed to be? It's scary. It's debilitating, but It is the only reason you are down here on this planet. Every single thing that has gone wrong, every single thing that has left you scared or left you with doubt is the exact thing that you are supposed to do. It's hard. It's scary, but you are built for this. You are the architect of your game. So if it's something that is blocking you, understand the reason why you would do that to yourself. Your higher self is always leaving little breadcrumbs in the ways you're supposed to go. Every decision is a fork in the road. You go one way, you get further away from alignment. You go the other way, you're going closer to alignment. That's every single decision that we make, from going to the gym, from going down the stairs, from going to the grocery store, from what we eat, from what jobs we apply for how many times we post a day. All these things are forks in the road. If you choose the path of misalignment, then you will continue to be the master of that path. Bring it back to the things that scare you, because fear is one of the greatest activations that we can use to raise our frequency. So, with that said, let's get to the other side of this fear, and let's get to the other side of our unconscious energy and get to know better who we came here to be. And with that said, I will check you on the next episode. This was just a quick video to get the juices going, and we're just going to keep going. Thank you all for tapping in with me, and I'll catch you on the next one.